get into this, I want to make myself quite clear. I am not a lawyer. I am not your lawyer. This is not legal advice. This is just what I think is most likely going to happen in the outcome of the reckless spin in Lego whole, whole thing. Now, before anyone starts accusing that I'm on the uh, minifigs business side. No. This is just how an objective observer could look at it. Now, I live in Michigan. I don't live in Utah. I don't know how their laws are structured. But from what I understand, Ben is screwed. Let me explain why. So, keep in mind, I am looking at it as all evidence and everything that both sides are fact and true. Okay? That's how I'm looking at it. Because the courts have not ruled on if this case is who's lying and who's telling the truth. Even if we all believe that, oh, this case is obvious, it's up to the courts. Okay, first things first, I want to address something right now. Whatever the case is, at the end of the day, what Ben did is illegal. Let me explain how. How process serving I believe in the whole United States is they have a implied license to go onto the other person's property, walk up to the door. Mr. Johnson, I am here representing the court to serve you legal papers. I am aware that you're home. I can see you right now. You have 20 seconds to come to the door and accept the papers. If you do not accept the papers, I'm going to yell, "Oh, you have been legally served." Then after 20 seconds, "You have failed to receive and come to the door. I am dropping the paperwork at your front door. The camera has picked up your refusal to accept it, but you have legally been served." And walk away. And if the police show up between then and there and arrest you for trespassing or something else, that's a whole different thing. But what you're not allowed to do is to impersonate USP, FedEx, or any other company. Doesn't matter what. You're legally not allowed to do that at all. Secondly, if you approach in good faith and you have evidence to do so, you go back to court. You get a little reference paper that says you're legally allowed to take a hammer with a nail and break into the door with that nail with the paperwork on it. And then, in my opinion, you should be allowed just to tape it with super duct tape and just tape it to the front door and walk away. But since you stalked, deframed, and impeded all of this, now you're hit with a RICO case. Now, that RICO case is now a big problem for you. It turned your mild annoyance into a legal nightmare. I'm not kidding. You don't want to mess around with RICO. Oh, so what's going to end up happening is if the original complaint is found to be false, you, my good sir, are looking up to 5 years in prison. And you'll be known in the federal prison system as a stalker, as a harasser, and and your YouTube channel will be forcibly taken down, or you'll be forced to scrub all your videos and any comments everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, whatever, Facebook, doesn't matter. If you speak even for half a second in a random video of you just playing Roblox, guess what? That has to be taken down as well. And after the case and you served your time, if you speak of it in a form at all, even in passing, then you can go back to prison. And can I tell you what's the fun part about? about this. If you get a girlfriend in the future and you start dating her and whatnot, and she has a rough time with you and decides to lie to the court that you are stalking her now after she broke up with you, even if it's not true, we're to serve you with a arrest warrant and you're going back to prison. That's exactly what's going to happen. You made a Caddick preg and you sat on it and are currently hoping that it doesn't explode. And that also doesn't include the money aspect if you lose your case. Now, the original complaint, let's say they sue you for $300,000. Under the RICO law and everything else like that, you'll be looking at a $3,600,000 case. And guess what? That GoFundMe money that you set up, that won't be going to you to pay for that legal fee. It'll be going to the victim, aka Mr. Johnson. I can't remember the guy's name at this one time. The Minifake CEO. And guess what? You know, your case against the police, it would also be thrown out. And if you somehow win on a very high bar, I'm talking about 80% of those type of cases get thrown out or settle for pennies compared to what you're facing. And guess what? You can't ask the civil court, or hey, do you think you could retrain those cops to know what the I think Fourth Amendment? I might be wrong about that. I want to say Fourth Amendment. And 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 you can't ask for that at all. Matter of fact, even if you are successfully, let's say you successfully sue the police department and individual police officers, the police officers won't pay a dime at all. Matter of fact, it will be their insurance, which is paid by the taxpayer, and the police department, which is again paid by the taxpayer. All you're doing is causing more problems right now than there really were. So what you should have done is just, you are legally served, and leave it alone at that. But now you're looking at almost a $4 million at the end of the day, a permanent mark on your record for stalking, and I don't know about the United States, but this could also be put you on the sex trafficker or registry list, is to make sure you don't go anywhere near or Mr. Fatality, even if you don't Mr. Minifakes. You make sure you never even approach one of their stores. Meaning, if you live in an outer state thing and they own or decide to buy next to your house, you're going to have to move. I'm not kidding. So you'll literally be hopscotching around the United States, even if you get a hint of them moving. You screwed the pooch. I am sorry. But, again, so let's put it in blatant English. If everything goes well for Ben, he's looking at a possible, let's say, jury trial. Even then, it's most like, I'm saying the best case scenario. They fight it, they go to court, and Ben wins $1 million. If Ben loses, a $4 million fine. I'm saying fine, but it's really more like a payout for the Lego company and the CEO combined. Or he could even sue him liable for even more. And 5 years in prison attached to a stalking permanent record. Don't be a YouTube vigilante. I'm not kidding, it's not worth it. Now he's looking at 5 years in prison. But that's all comes down to what the very first complaint if is. But even then, the police could still go after him for stalking. So, and the DA's office pulls a deal with him, says, hey, you won't sue us, we'll sell this quietly, you won't get a record, and everyone will walk away. Sorry, Ben. I, it sucks. Honestly, it's a gut punch. You try to do something good, and that doesn't even account for you fleeing to Mexico. Even though I honestly don't think you actually were in Mexico, I think you were in New Mexico. Oh, but I mean, there has been cases where people say, "Hey, I'm in Florida," when you're still in Michigan. Matter of fact, there's a big case here in Michigan called the Skeleton Brothers case, where the dad stayed in Michigan, said he went to Florida, uh, and now is currently serving in prison because of kidnapping. Now, there's more to that case, but I'm doing my own independent investigation on it, and but either way, the guy's still screwed. Even if it turns out to be the best case scenario. I'm talking about Ben. In the best case scenario, he gets $1 million payout. If he loses, $4 million, and now you're a stalker and you're in prison for the rest of your life. And you're on a permanent gag order. Anyway, my name is Zach. This has been my opinion. Hopefully I can come back, and I'm probably going to be roasted all across the internet as the evil, oh, oh, uh, as the evil Lego defendant company dude. But this is a real legal concern. Again, I'm not a lawyer. This isn't legal advice. I'm not your lawyer. But in either way, this has been my opinion. Tell me yours. If not, it has been an interesting experience anyway. Peace. And